Hello everybody, welcome to music class. I am your new teacher, Gurpreet Singh Sidhu, but you may call me Mr. Sidhu. And as we all know, the school year just started, and this is your first day in music class. So welcome to the class, everybody. And this year in music class, we will be learning a lot about the history of music, whether that be about the instruments, and we'll also be learning how to play instruments as well. So that's one thing that you'll be learning in this class. And other things you'll be learning in this class is also just about all the different genres of music like hip hop, rock, pop, and even just all the different kind of music from around the world. And we'll also be talking about a bunch of like famous artists and music creators and learning more about them. And that's the one that and that's what we're going to start off with today as well. And the artist that I chose to teach you guys about today is a pretty popular artist, and well, he was a pretty popular artist, and as you all know, the artist is Sidhu Moosewala, and he just passed away earlier this year, so that's why I thought that he would be the pretty good artist to be the first one to talk about, as he just like recently passed away and is still like super popular, and especially amongst the youth. And so that's why we'll be talking about him today. Sidhu Moosewala is an artist from the village of Mansa, which is in the district of Punjab in the country India. He was born on the 11th of June 1993. His birth name is Shubdeep Singh Sidhu. Sidhu Moosewala was an actor, artist. Of course, he was an artist. He was an actor, lyricist, singer, and a rapper. Um, he started his career off back in the early 2010s. I believe it was around 2014, 2015-ish. Yeah, about 2014-ish. He started his career off by writing songs which other singers would then sing. And some of the songs he wrote became really popular. There's a song by a singer named Ninja called License. And that was the first song that Sidhu Moosewala ever wrote, and it became really popular. And then he also wrote some other songs that were sung by other singers. And he managed to create a name for himself then. But his main passion was to become a singer. And but he chose to become a lyricist first, so that people would start to know him when he becomes a singer, or like would know about him. And that's exactly what happened. He became pretty popular as a lyricist before. So then, when he became a singer, well, a lot of people already knew him. So then he and then his as a singer, his songs became like really popular. His first song as a singer came out in 2016. It was called G Wagon, and G Wagon is a song that he sang with another already famous Punjabi singer named Gurlej Akhtar. And after that song, his popularity started growing, and his songs that he sang would mostly get like views in like the hundreds of millions of views. And he quickly became the most popular artist in India and also amongst the world and the world. And he said in many interviews that his inspiration to become a rapper and singer was the rapper Tupac Shakur, who back in the 90s was a pretty popular rapper. And the kind of music that Tupac did was music that in which he would talk about like politics and just like situations that are happening around the world that he would talk about in his songs and how he felt about those things. And that's the kind of thing that Sidhu Moosewala also did as well. And as you know, the in the world there were many people who loved him for that, but there were also people who did not like that he did that because they were like that he's talking bad about politics, about certain politicians, and or about just like any situation around the world. And so he started getting a lot of hate as well from a bunch of people, and like getting hate emails and threats. because of which he had to also get like personal security guards who would stay with him. And so for the many years that he was an artist for, everywhere he went, he would have the security guards with him. And in his songs, he talked about like all the famous Sikh um, Sikh is the culture that Sidhu Moosewala belonged to, and in his songs he would like talk about a bunch of like Indian historical events, as, as well like good and bad events. And because mainly because of the bad events, there were people who hated him who would be against him, and would like make would like file like court cases against him because of which he had to like also spend a lot of time going to court to try and like fight the cases. And then he would also like talk about politicians and how he felt about how some politicians were like doing their jobs, and if he felt that any politicians were not doing a good job, he would directly mention that in his songs. And there were many people who loved that about him, because remember he had a fan following in the millions. He he still does. He still has a pretty big fan following. But there were also many people who were so against him that they wanted him dead. And now, as to get into the final part of his life, to the final days of his life, um, there is some politicians in Punjab who decided to get rid of some famous people's like security and make their security like lesser so that they won't have to pay like as much for to security guards to guard famous people. One of them was Sidhu Moosewala, and Sidhu Moosewala, because since he was already like super famous, there were also some gangs that were against him and wanted him dead. So when the news came out that the Indian government had gotten like some famous people's security like taken away, for some reason they decided to announce which people they are, and Sidhu Moosewala was one of them. The day after he got his security taken away from him, he was going out with his friends when some people from an alleged like gang members, started following him in his vehicle, and then at like one stoplight, they cornered him by putting their cars in front of him. And sad to say that Sidhu Moosewala was shot to death, but his legacy will always remain. And he was such a famous singer and the people loved him so much that all his lovers, when he passed away, most of his lovers had not seen him in person. But when he passed away, I cannot even say how everyone felt, because it literally felt like that a member of their family had passed away. That's how it was amongst at least the Indian community for many, many days. People still love to listen to his songs, even though they know that they won't be getting any new songs from him. But they just but still love to listen to his songs and just to remember him for the type of artist he was. He was 28 years old when he died, but he created such a legacy for him and such a big space in his bunch of like millions of people's hearts that they will like never forget him until until the day that they die. So that was some history about Sidhu Moosewala, and I do have some pictures for him about him that, let me see if I can get them on my laptop here, and if I can, then I will show you some pictures of him. Just give me a second, class. Here we go. This here is a gentleman who was such a legendary singer, and people will always miss him, and so will I, and so will most likely you guys as well. At least most of you guys will. Um, so yeah, this was a lesson about Sidhu Moosewala, and if you guys have any feelings about this case as well, because I know a lot of people did, have like feelings that they would like to share about this. So if you guys have any feelings to share about this, just feel free to contact me. By contact me, I mean you can email me if you have an email, or you can even just ask me in person. So, does anybody have any questions? Looks like we don't have any questions right now, so we'll move on to the next lesson, and that's it about our today's lesson about Sidhu Moosewala. I hope you guys really like that. Thank you.